Today I'm going to be talking about three seemingly unrelated areas, and yet they have a common root about needing to be rescued. One of them is anger triggers. Where does that come in? It's about expectations. Expectations from the external to allocate the resource it is, um, the lack, whatever it is. There's expectation that's not being met, and and then the second thing, which relates to the first, is clean. What does it mean to feel clean? Not something you can use sterilization or antibacterial, antifungal. What is something that cleans the inside and that which causes expectations, these beliefs? And it's got to be some form of acceptance. It's got to be some form of acceptance. And the third element here is specifically, personally, I'm going to say to a man, but the idea is, so what can I offer? Switching out of this anger, expectation, moving into like, what's clean for me is what's true. What doesn't need to, the dust that falls off, and then we wipe away the dust. And then the next day, the dust falls off and we wipe away the dust. But in this case, what's clean that I don't have to keep cleaning away the dust? It just is. And it doesn't need constantly cleaning. The next element of that is, so what can I offer from that place, or from a similar place inside of me, or from the origins of myself that yield, expectations and acceptance? What can I offer? So I specifically am going to read something that I read, and I'm going to use this opportunity to say, what can I offer a man? Because that is something that's of interest to me. So these are practices. The first thing I wanted to talk about is anger triggers. It's not fancy. You just got to reflect on what has made you angry recently. What has caused you to have expectations? What's disappointed you? And I'm going to read a list I made, and these are old, new, current, past. But these are things that either make me angry or expectations I have. Make me feel chosen. Giving to get, whether I give so that the person will be there, or I'm feeling like the person's only giving to get. Listen to me. Pay attention to me. Don't add to my anxiety, my pressure, my stress, my confusion. Show me that I pleasure you. Don't rush me. Entitlement, like I'm entitled to your time because I give time. That's what makes me angry. Both sides of it. Don't stop my enjoyment. And this is like capital don't. Like, let me enjoy. Let me enjoy. If I'm helping, why aren't you helping? I could say there's like a scheme of like a schema of fairness in my, justice. This is the expectation that people are going to be fair. People are going to reciprocate. People want what's best for me, right? You see the expectation forming here. Don't patronize or mansplain. Like, respect my intelligence. Don't try to get between God and I. Don't tell me there's anything wrong with me. I'm not who I'm supposed to be, that I would only be good if I do what you think I should. Why don't you appreciate my effort? Why'd you leave me waiting? Being yelled at when someone is unreachable. Being threatened or provoked. Interruption. This is not just why'd you stop my enjoyment, but interruption, like when I'm speaking, when I'm doing something, on my way somewhere. Hypocrisy, like someone who's talking like they know everything, but then I see that they don't treat people with the very kindness they were talking about running the world with. Like, the world runs on kindness. We all have to be more loving, but then they're not. And also in myself, I get angry and I get triggered when I see that, like, I'm not who I want to be. Rejected when I have a pure intention. This is a painful one. I want to be accepted when I have pure intentions. I want to be seen right away. I don't want to wait till you're in a better mood. Being blamed or accused when I'm innocent. Similarly, it's like, I don't want to wait till you're able to see clearly and then you can let me be, good. Like, I don't want to be seen as bad right now just because you're in a bad mood. It makes me angry. Having my and we see under all of these is a hurt, right? Under the anger. So having my unconditionals being taken advantage of. And I wrote understanding and compassion. I find that I can keep increasing my compassion, keep increasing my understanding. And when somebody wants me to keep doing that for them, and I kind of get off on it because I like, becoming more understanding, more compassionate, I end up getting angry. So now that I've kind of just laid it all out, the next step is, am I clean? So where am I out of alignment is a way that we often talk about this, but where does it feel dirty? The anger is like, don't make me look at the dirty. Don't make me look at there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with you, that people are bad. Don't make me look. Don't make me look at the dirty. So am I clean is really, don't make me look at the dirty. Don't make me get angry. Don't trigger me. And I'm going to just read it out. But you write for yourself, where does it feel clean? Like, where does it not keep getting dirty? Or where is the dirty? Where's the dust? And then we see where's the clean. So I try to be real versus looking for the real. Everyone is my brother and my sister. That feels clean to me. Seeing God in each other versus one needs to be more like God than the other. Wanting power versus giving pleasure feels dirty to me. Eating processed food or smoking cigarettes, it feels dirty to me, which means my body's clean, right? It means that my heart is clean if everyone's my brother and sister, and it means my spirit is clean if everybody, if I want everyone to be godly, and my social conscience is clean because I want all of us to be giving each other pleasure, not overpowering each other. Living Torah and written Torah, which is the oral Torah and the action. So living Torah is where you live in the world and you see the truth in every moment. Torah means truth, and it's the will of the life force itself. There's nothing more powerful. It's the power of powers. And then the written Torah is that which can be coded into words. It could be what I'm speaking now. It could be what you had a conversation with earlier. It could be that long walk on the beach. It could be whatever it is that speaking creatively into existence. So that means our speech is clean and our actions are clean here, because it's how we live and how we speak and how we write, right, and what we read. Then giving to get commitment feels dirty to me, but also it's clean to want commitment. Giving to get company feels dirty to me, but it's clean to want company. Judging fakeness in others' tones, like while they're speaking, and who I'm not open to learning from, feels dirty. Like, there's something dirty about how I feel like they're hiding something and they're making a tone like, and it feels like dirty to me because it feels like a huge face of makeup in their voice. And so what's clean to me is speaking truth. Like I said earlier, the Torah, when we speak truth, it's clean. You hear it. It sounds clean. It feels clean. It looks clean in how it works in the world. Loving privacy so I can't be seen with my pants down. And I realized that's clean. That's saying I want to keep, like, you know, some things in modesty. I don't need to poop in the middle of the street. I don't need to pee, like, you know, with the door open and a bunch of people are in the other room. So it's like extending that loving privacy is that there are some moments where our pants feel like they're down, like we're feeling really ashamed, or we're so, even sometimes when I get really angry, and I want to hide it. I don't want anyone to see me in that dirtiness, you know. Fear, and that's my pants down, like I'm having a tantrum, I'm out of control. It's just coming out of me, right? Same idea. So fear of submitting and powerlessness. And this is why I chose to write about my relationship with a man. But this is one where it's like I consider men, you know, to a man, fear of submitting and powerlessness. I don't want to submit and let go of my power. And that could be the source of power. So it's clean to want to submit. It's clean to want to surrender as a woman. But it's not clean to be powerless. It should always be safe for me. It should always be that I want what's happening, right? You get what I'm saying here. Owning my desire for stable company. Now, this is what I said earlier. It's clean to want company. The desire to want someone to stay is not exactly commitment. It's not like you'll be there when I need you. But to want someone to stay for me is a sense of like, it's not clean to me to, I would call it being a sellout. I would say that if I act kind of in a way in that moment, like not exactly how tired I am, I stay up later than I want, or I push off eating, or I'll smoke weed when I didn't have an interest in it. Those are things where like the desire is I just want to stick around the situation. So I'm not talking about wanting company when I don't. I'm not talking about wanting commitment when I feel abandoned. I'm talking, it's clean to want those things before you even get angry or feel abandoned or alone. But this is different. This is when I'm already in the situation and I don't want to be left alone. I don't want it to end. So that to me feels like dirty. However, the desire here for family feels clean. Family feels like, or roommates, feels like people who are around, but you can lower your guard and do your own thing while they're nearby. And that's something I have a true desire for. And it's clean. It's clean to want to share a home with people. feeling unfulfilled sexually. To me, it feels dirty. It feels like I'm not worthy of pleasure. And it feels like I don't know how to express my needs, so I must be broken in how I communicate. And also, it's like this, it's this sense of it'll never end. There will be nobody where I'll ever hit that spot, who will ever hit that spot, because they have to want to. So I end up feeling like this person doesn't want to. People are cruel. So I see deeply under here, there's like a sexual trigger. There's the anger here that that I don't even know how to. In that other way, I said surrender and powerlessness. I don't even know necessarily how to own my power and say out loud, "This is what I want you to do for me." So that's really like a clean thing, is to be able to stay empowered in that instead of feeling dirty in it. And finally, wanting to save money. So it feels a little dirty to me to want to have like money in the bank when there's so many homeless people, poor people, hurting people who need help. However, at the same time, I need to be able to have a nest egg, or else I become that, and I need help. So it's clean to want to have a nest egg. It's clean to want to have a garden where you don't just rip out all the plants as soon as they are grown. It's clean to want to have things grow. And one way to do this is what I learned in Judaism, is to tithe and give charity. So I can save money, but I can also share money. So we do something called tithing. You give 10 to 20% of your income, unless you're in a position where you can't afford it. And now on to the final section. I'm going to read an excerpt from Nuala O'Fallon, who's an Irish writer. She saved this letter from when she was 19 years old, and she writes all about growing up as a writer in a patriarchal society. Now, she meant to say that this was an insulting letter, but to her, at that time, because of all his expectations the man wrote of what a man wants from a woman, but I found it to be very comforting, and it could be that I'm very old-fashioned, and that's why I'm reading it. And you'll decide for yourself if you want to be this woman, this like idealized woman, or if it's impossible. I would like to believe in this. I believe that there is a part of me that is this, and maybe I'll outgrow it, or maybe it'll grow stronger, but I would like to share it. Dear little sister, you can give him. By him, I mean, he writes him, I mean the man you will want to give to, first of all, companionship. You can be the sieve for his ideas and enthusiasms, the moderator of his superfluous angers, the soft bosom of his hard days, his scourge to action, or his dangler of promised sweet meats when he slackens. You'll give him the freedom of loving you exclusively. You'll tie him to this stern, sweet discipline. Let him feel the demands of your love, for he lives only as a shadow man if his heart can know no outpouring, his selfishness, no merciless self-destruction, if his countless good impulses and scattered loves have no single gathering point and center where they realize themselves and have meaning. You'll give him this. You'll give him the manly task of earning your love again daily. You'll give him the delight of his eyes when he looks at you bright and neat and clean, when he notices yet again, once again, that your eyes heed him. You'll give him all these things to him, no matter how wise or strong or world famous he may be. And when you make the gift of yourself, please let it be with humble awareness of all these things which you're giving. That's what will make your gift very rich and meaningful. You're right to prize highly interesting people, brain knowledge, and the world of books, and to seek after them. But I have told you the things your man will want from you. Believe me. And I wrote, what can I freely offer a man who serves the Creator? In other words, who has a higher power. He wants all this from me. But is he doing what is wanted of him, right? So if a man understands that there's a power of powers, that he might be powerful, he wants to be the source, but there's a source of him. There's a source of all women and all men. There's a source of all life. If he can do for the one what's required of him, and he can submit and surrender to that power of powers, then I would love to freely offer these to him. Loyal exclusivity and love that is also jealous in a good way. Not going to pretend to be like in these open, okay with these open relationships, polyamory. No, full-fledged. I can offer that. I used to need 3 men. There was a time. For another time, I'll maybe talk about that kind of thing. But I'm able to be faithful now to one man. Loyal exclusivity. Next, mindfulness and wellness lifestyle balance. It's just who I am. It's my path. Another is great conversations, real talk, inspiration. Another is cooking, cleaning, cuddling, gifts, letters. Like, that's the maternal element in there that I love to share and I can freely offer. being someone to share activities with. I love activities. I do art, I do classes, I bike, I read, I go walking, and much more. Trusting him for reassurance, guidance, and protection. I love to have a man I can lean up against like a tree. There's nothing like it. And where he tells me it's going to be okay with his presence, he's just not anxious. And where he tells me just the thing I need to hear, I love that. And I don't need to always be the bigger one. I don't need to be the sun, and he's the moon. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not doing this as a feminist thing. As a woman, I want that reassuring, guiding, protective man. I am able to offer accommodation, devotion, and submission, like I said, to whatever flow he feels is best. And not all the time, in my power. What doesn't feel right to me, no. What feels wrong to me, no. And next, enjoying sensuality and pleasure together. I'm a very sensual feeling person. And that is a whole world, a whole ocean of experience that I can share. Depth, understanding, brainstorming. This is my ability to be a good listener, to absorb, to receive the feminine angle of myself, to really be able to take it fully in, to fully feel or fully sense, to be someone can stand on me for a moment. I can really understand them. I can get under what they're sharing. And to brainstorm, I can come up with ideas and give feedback without taking it too personal, without getting attached to the outcome. And finally, I am an innovative, creative person who can offer communicative in my interactions. I can be communicative, creative. I'm like an inventor. I have a lot of great ideas, and it's fun. I can offer the newness and the fun. And so I hope for you that you feel inspired to resolve expectations with acceptance, and triggers, and clean what needs to be rescued internally versus looking outside to be rescued. We end up having a garden of things to offer if we do that inner cleaning like I did out loud, and I hope that it was helpful for you. Thank you for sharing time with me. Looks like I'm healing really well. It's all from the bump on my head, and this was a byproduct, and it's getting much better every day. Thank the power of powers, who is the power of healing for me.